What's going on, everybody? So, it's been quite some time since Baldur's Gate 3 dropped, and I've been playing it for a while on the ROG Ally. And honestly, this game plays pretty damn well, with almost completely maxed out settings. I personally set Baldur's Gate to 1080p, high settings with 13 watts. And I was certainly surprised with what I saw with most of the gameplay in Baldur's Gate 3. I finished about 5 to 6 hours of this game, and I think it's prime time for me to give my opinion on Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I'm not much for strategy games, but I think Baldur's Gate 3 is really special. I love every single bit of the voice acting that happens in this game. I think the story is compelling, but most importantly, I think Baldur's Gate 3 plays very well on the ROG Ally. Now, I play at 13 watts, so if you don't specifically have your VRAM set to 8 gigabytes, then you're not going to have that much of a great time with Baldur's Gate 3. But as of right now, as of recording, I have the VRAM set to 6 gigabytes, and with 13 watt TDP, it gives me around 25 to 30 FPS. Now, it's a strategy game, so it's pretty much a point and click. You can, of course, explore whatever you want to in the game's semi-open world areas, for the most part. Like with the intro area, the FPS is going to hover around 25 to 30 at 13 watts, but if you bring the TDP a little higher, say 15 to maybe even 17 watts, the game plays at 30 to 40. If you decide to explore more open areas with turbo mode activated, you'll most likely get 30 to 40 FPS. Now, that's not saying a lot considering you could get a lot more with different types of titles out there, but Baldur's Gate 3 is among one of the newest games to come out this year, and it's one of the best games of the year. And I can obviously see why. It has the choices, the characters, and just the sheer variety of gameplay and different styles you can experience this game with. And considering I have the game at 1080p, high settings, and those are personal graphic settings I would set to my gaming laptop. Considering that, the amount of FPS I get out of the ROG Ally is simply impressive, and I wouldn't have it any other way, especially for a strategy game such as this. Now, like I said before, I'm not big on strategy games, especially on the go. It's kind of hard for me to focus on it, but Baldur's Gate 3 kept my focus for a surprising amount of time. Now, of course, this is more of a turn-based game than a strategy game in my opinion, but so far I'm having an absolutely great time with this particular title. And because I'm only 5 hours in, there's not much to talk about, but considering the amount of choices that I've experienced within these first 5 hours, and the sheer amount of effort in the cutscenes and how expertly crafted everything is, I can just see from those few hours why this is Game of the Year. And I started out as a skeptic. I didn't think it would be as good as people say. I doubted every single step of the way, but as soon as I started playing within the first 30 minutes, I was simply blown away. I absolutely love Baldur's Gate 3 on the ROG Ally, and I'm excited to continue my adventures in Baldur's Gate. And so far, after exploring and experiencing the story, it's clear why Baldur's Gate has so much of an appeal to an entire generation of gamers out there. But yeah, I give Baldur's Gate 3 a compatibility grade of A. It's an exceptional title and one of the best I've ever played. It definitely takes some getting used to because this game does not let up when it comes to enemies, and it pretty much just throws you in the action with barely any kind of slow-paced tutorial, and instead, it gives you a real-time tutorial, which I appreciate. But its compatibility with the ROG Ally is definitely something to marvel. Playing this game with such quality, and for the most part fluidity, was very unexpected, especially since I wasn't compromising any kind of graphic settings for this. As you can see, the FSR is at ultra quality, along with everything else being at high. Now, of course, most people would put the graphic settings to medium because, well, they have common sense, but considering I love the way modern titles look and what graphics add to every scene, I like having my settings to at least high. But yeah, if I missed anything and if there are any specific settings that will make Baldur's Gate run even better with high settings at 1080p, let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Later.